I was at Ball State, Volunteer State Community College, and Ginger was the original wrestling bear.
Okay.
And Ginger was a black bear. She was older. She was 750 pounds. She had a muzzle. Of course, her claws were cut, and everything.
Yeah.
You signed a waiver before you wrestled. This was in 1983, 82, maybe 83, early 83, something like that. It's 3 years before what you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Ginger, you knew who that was around, in the area, and it was a big deal. It was at a big bar in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I remember this. I was wanting to get in the business, and I saw that, and I go, man, I love bears. You know what I mean? I love animals. And I was like, I try that. I want to try that. I just kind of did it, and then somebody dared me. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So one of the guys had one of the big passenger vans, right? We got like 12 guys in there, met up somewhere and did, and I didn't drink, so I drove the van.
Yeah.
I drove one of the guys' his dad's work van or something,
Yeah.
And a bunch of us went to that bar. Well, we go there, and it had 8 people. They wouldn't let no more than 8 people wrestle the bear. You had to sign a waiver. And you sign that waiver, it says they're not responsible for whatever happened. It makes you think a little bit. This was 1983, early 83, 82, something like that. So I signed that, and some of the Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro football players come down.
Yeah.
Big old boy, offensive tackle, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 260, 270, big boy. Maybe he was with Division I or small college All-American, or offensive tackle, something like that. Pros looking at him a little bit. He was real tall when he got into college. He wasn't heavy, but he put on muscle, and was a prospect. He was the first one wrestled the Ginger. Ginger was the oldest bear. Ginger was the toughest bear of any of them that ever was, and had been there. The guy that owned it had a cattle prod, and if somebody got out of line or she wanted to pet him up, he'd buzz Ginger, like that. And he told us, he said, "You get cute with my bear," and he said, "I'm on the cattle prod, and she's going to tear your ass up." That's what he told all of us. He was like, "Oh God." You signed that, right? Well, yeah. I'm 18 years old. Or maybe I was 19 or 20, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was a year or two before I got into business. Actually, everybody's 82. Yeah, 82. Yeah. Well, you're sitting there and you're going, wow. And he had a badass cattle prod too. And Ginger, was older, but she was what they called her the shooter bear. Well, this guy that played, they said, "Don't tackle my bear," and he says, "Don't tackle my bear," and he said, "Don't punch my bear. So you do, I'm gonna turn her loose on you." That's what he told us. I'm like, oh shit, like that. So the one big old boy, he's pretty cocky, had his girl, college, campus, a lot of students to watch him. He screwed up, man. Devin, he went down a 3-point right when they were getting ready to count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. He went down a 3-point stance like he's coming off the ball and going to tackle that bear or block him or whatever he's going to do. He didn't make it. And he's come off low like he would. That bear leg sweeped him so fast, took him off his feet so fast that it was right when that guy did it, went down there. He goes, and he hit that bear in the butt. Boy, and took him down. The guy went straight back, hit the back of his head, and they told us, they said, if she gets you down, turn your head and put your hands up because she's trying to bite you. Well, he didn't have time to do it. He hit the back of his head, blood went everywhere, and she was right on top of him, went wham, and broke his nose. Back of his head, knocked him out, broke his nose, pushed his nose up to his brain. He never played a down of football again. The ambulance carted him. That's the first thing I saw. I'm not exaggerating, and it was like that. And that guy just
was
like,
just a barroom floor.
Yeah. Just a big barroom floor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a ring. Or maybe it was a ring. One of them I did was just a barroom floor.
Yeah, because if he split his head open, it must have been a barroom floor.
It was a bar. Yeah, that was a barroom floor. Yeah. The one in Louisiana. Yeah, that one was a barroom floor. The one in Louisiana was in just a boxing ring, you know, and the one that I did on YouTube was a pro wrestling show. Yeah, that one was in a barroom floor because he hit the back of his head, blood went everywhere. He was on top of him, bam, right there, broke his nose, pushed his nose up to his brain. He never played football again. Ambulance, he was knocked out. Blood was everywhere. I mean, the man's on his back, bleeding from the back of his head and bleeding his nose, just blood just going just like that. And you're sitting there and everybody's going, fuck this. And me, right, I had the keys. So I took out, running to the car, and all the guys, 10, 12 guys, no, motherfucker, you're going to do it. You said you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You already signed that and that, blah, blah, blah. You know, they were taking bets and all kind of stuff. You know, guys, you know, college, right? And I'm like, no. I was laughing. I wasn't really laughing. I was like, no. And so I watched everybody. And I never drank a beer in my life before then. And I did a shot, and I was like on it. And I was doing a little coffee, and then I was studying, watching. I thought, well, my best offense is a good defense. I went 3 3-minute rounds with her, and just not because the Bears were kind of playing. But if you get with them, you know, I mean, you know, but I made it 3 3-minute rounds with Ginger, and that's just with her. That was 82, 86. I worked for Bill Watts, old Mid-South, you know, which was Oklahoma, part of Texas, Louisiana, all Louisiana, and part of Arkansas, part of Mississippi. Nick Adams had a bear, 7 foot, 1,500-pound grizzly bear, huge. And you know, this has been a few years. We worked Alexandria that night. I was single with a big, huge bar. They call it the Lighthouse, but they call it the Fight House. I mean, it was crazy. A big old warehouse it used to be. Huge bar. All those Louisiana boys, you know, and the boys, you know. And after Alexandria, they had a big party, and you knew the Bear was going to be there, right? So we had a pro wrestling show, and a lot of people went there. They went to the bar afterwards to watch that. And I can remember Duggan, Doc, Terry Taylor, a lot of the boys, you know. But I was with, remember Chavo Guerrero Sr.? Yeah, Chavo Guerrero Sr. and DJ Peterson. God rest both of them. So I was with those guys. I kind of ran with those guys, you know. Tommy Gilbert, I traveled with him some, Terry Taylor some, you know, and those. And I was an expert, right? Because I'd done it before. And I'm going, and I'm watching those, because I didn't sign up for it. I was there on nice clothes, and I was out and single, you know, in 86. So I'm like sipping on a beer right there, and the guy got me a beer, and I told him I'd done it. You know, nobody really knew about it. And I said, yeah, I've done that before, man. I said, these guys are crazy. If they go out there, stay away from them, just stay away from them, you know. I was an expert, right? I'm like sipping on that beer, and they kept feeding the beer a little bit and a few shots. Well, I look up, and they don't like 7, 8 guys to wrestle the Bear, because the Bear gets tired of playing. So number 8, who they called me, they ribbed me. They put my name in, and I'm like, no, man, I don't want to do that. Hell no, I got my fever on. I'm now, I'm trying to hook up. You know, I was talking to this girl, tall, blonde, you know, and all, you know, and the whole bit. So yeah, I got in there with you know, bears wrestle. You know, they're playing and that's a natural thing. They just play around, and and the harder you try, the harder they will do. They're not there. You don't piss them off. And I was setting out trying to get away from him, and something did, and boy, he was leaning on me, just 1,500 pounds, 7 foot tall, and I couldn't get him off of me. And in some way I did. I come around, and I come right into him, and my head got him right in the stomach. He was up close to the rope, kind of playing, you know. And however we ended up and did, and come out of it, and I butted him right there when I did. That bear cinched up on me, and I went, whoa! And it was just like, it went from playing the strength and the size to, like, you know, and it was trying to bite me, and I had my head, you know, but it had its back teeth. You know what I mean? It didn't have a muzzle, and it couldn't really do it. I had an air, and I'm like punching him. It's like a baby hitting a man, you know. And Nick Adams owned the Bear, and he used to pro wrestle, and he had that bear from when it was a cub. And I didn't do it on purpose, you know. That happened, but my head got it, almost like spun around something, and bam, right in the stomach. That bear went right there, and I never, it like snapped. I thought he snapped me in 2. And I'm not kidding you. And he wondered why I'm limp. But honest to God, yes. And I was screaming, get this motherfucker. I was hitting him, bam, headbutting him, everything. Nick jumped on him, just dove on him, and had the chain and run around him, and he went right to playing with Nick because Nick raised him from a cub. And I'm like, it was in that buckle, right? Well, I'm booking to get out of there, and I had on nice clothes, and they looked like a street fight. It was ripped off of me. You know what I mean? I mean, it was, and sweat blowed up, and I'm booking to get out of there, right?
Yeah.
And that bear was from to my side was in that turnbuckle right there.
Yeah.
And it's no fish story. And I heard, and I saw it look at me at the side of the eye, and I was to get out of there, hard as I could go. And I heard it go like that, and just roared and come at me. And they can outrun a horse for like 20 yards. They're that quick. And I got out of the ring, took a hell of a bump on the floor. I shit my pants, I thought I had a heart attack for a minute, and everybody's laughing at me, pouring beer on me, and the boys, you know what I mean, and some of the guys, we knew the bouncers, some of them, and stuff, and it was all in good fun, but it wasn't funny to me. Thank God I had my sweats and t-shirt I brought with me. Did have to go clean myself up. And
did you pick up the blonde in the end after all that? You said you started off with a hot blonde at the start of the night.
Yeah, no, didn't see her again. Didn't see her again. She was laughing at me and then hooked up with someone. Yes, she hooked up with one of the bouncers, actually. One of the boys, one of those big boys that he bounced some when he was in town, and she did. She hooked up with him, and he worked on them offshore oil rigs. They'd be gone 2 weeks and off a week, something like that. And he bounced was in town. Yeah, she did. I wouldn't even think about her after that, But that was the one you see on YouTube.
Yeah, that was the easiest one of the three.
Oh yeah. Dutch Mantell was working Wildcat Wendell Cooley, and Dutch was champion. Wendell chasing him. Wendell wanted to get a title shot. This was how the angle. Wendell said he'll sign the match, wrestle, do anything to get the title match. He signs it, doesn't read it, and Dutch says about the bear. That makes the bear, the bear is a heel.
Yeah.
And he said Wendell will have to wrestle the bear. Wendell had a bad knee.
Yeah.
Well, it got worse. I don't think he really wanted to do it. But in Prattville, he did get hurt, legit. He did. So they had nobody to wrestle the bear. So Robert Fuller, Dutch were kind of booking it, and you know how it is, right? They didn't build it, and they got it 3 days. They had Birmingham, and I believe Montgomery, and Florence, Alabama. Birmingham, Montgomery was every week. Florence was every 2 weeks, but 3 major towns that they had. So they got to do something. So they got with me, and I worked out a deal with Robert, and of course Dutch managed the bear, and the Dutch had already done the bear fight. You can look it up. He had bear fighting experience and all that, and then Dutch had done all the interviews and everything. And I worked a tag match. Steve and I were working with Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, for the tag spot right there. Dutch was top heel, Wendell top babyface, things like that. Well, I worked 3 nights in a row, starting on Monday. I worked Robert and Jimmy, Stevie and I in the tag, and in the middle of the card, right before intermission, I worked the bear, and then I worked Dutch. I worked twice and wrestled the bear 3 nights in a row. And what was seen on YouTube was only the third of 3 rounds and the first of 3 nights. And the news, that was off a news clip. But they got Gordon Soley's commentating off the TV, some way, whatever they did. But they told me it was going to be on the news. But anyway, I'm back there and I was messing around playing with it, and it was only 10 months old. It was 550 pounds. It gained 100 pounds in a month. It was a Siberian grizzly bear. It had its back teeth, and of course the claws were cut. Yeah. Well, the Humane Society was there, and the World Wildlife Fund thing. They were there. They were all over it because the Inhumane with the claws, the teeth, and they were really. I'd done the tag match. True story, and I'm sitting there, and I'm over here, I'm praying. I don't know what this bear's gonna do. It's young, you don't want to get crazy. They've never been in front of people as far as a pro wrestling show, and because bar people are different than wrestling. Wrestling fans, back in Continental, and you didn't know how I was gonna react, Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, oh, God, Lord. I look around, and I turn around, they spin me around, and I'm on the news. And they says, hey, this other dude, don't you think it's inhumane to do this to the bear? This other, blah, blah, back teeth. No, all has no teeth, but just back teeth, no claws, this. And I looked, and I said, look, the two people, the wildlife, and I said, look, lady, and the camera lady's on there, and I said, look, lady, I said, I got to work twice, wrestle twice, and I got to shoot with this bear 3 nights in a row. Why are you worried about the bear? Why are you worried about me? My God, come on. My music was playing right there. I said, I don't really have time. They didn't show that on the news, but I did it 3 nights in a row, and man, I was physically spent. I mean, I was. He gave me off after that, for a week, and I honestly, I could get to the whirlpool, the shower, lay on the floor, and because working twice is hard enough,
Yeah.
especially when there's a long break. But to do that in between with the bear.
Shoot with the bear.
But that was only the third of 3 rounds, and you're not going to beat a bear. They're just playing. So that I always hear they go, "Oh, you pinned a bear." I didn't pin no bear. No, but that one was just a cub, really, honestly.